headline making headlines. The first edition of the New York Times front page sparking outrage overnight with the headline, "Trump urges unity versus racism," to sum up his speech about the El Paso and Dayton mass shootings. Cory Booker tweeted that lives depend on the paper doing better. Kirsten Gillibrand said simply, "That's not what happened." Even a New York Times writer called it terrible. The Times eventually changed the headline to "Assailing hate but not guns." The controversy is part of the larger conversation about the role of racism and white supremacy in this week's shootings.
In one voice, our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy.
President Trump will not receive the warmest welcome when he visits El Paso on Wednesday, in part because of prior remarks calling Mexicans drug dealers and rapists, and speaking of illegal immigration in terms of invasion and infestation. Democratic Congresswoman Veronica Escobar says the president is not welcome in the city. El Paso native and presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke tweeted that President Trump shouldn't come. Democrats, including O'Rourke, are largely blaming the president for fanning the flames of hatred that preceded the mass shootings.
You only have an attack like this when you have a president who gives people permission to act on this hatred and this racism and this intolerance.
Leaders are accountable for their actions when they sow seeds of hate, when they speak demeaning and degrading things.
In a statement, President Obama said, quote, "We should soundly reject language coming out of the mouths of any of our leaders that feeds a climate of fear and hatred or normalizes racist sentiments." El Paso Mayor Dean Margo would only say that he is welcoming the president as part of his formal duties.